Hi, greetings to everyone. I hope you all are doing well. It is a difficult time. There is a pandemic going on. So, I sincerely hope you and your family members are doing well. Today, we'll be presenting a paper titled Sustainable Tourism Development in the Case of India. Our paper ID is TRM7, and the author information is um, Shruti Oplish, that is me. I will be narrating the whole presentation. I'm a research scholar at Center for Management Studies, Jamia Millia Islamia, under Professor Kavita Chauhan, who is also the co-author for the paper. A brief introduction about what the paper is. So basically, we decided to collaborate on what sustainable development is and what its impact is on the tourism sector. So tourism has been identified as an aid to the growing GDP of a developing country like India. Having involved a number of stakeholders, it provides employment opportunities to many. So, as we know, there are a lot of stakeholders that are involved in the tourism sector, especially in India. And when we talk about a lot of tourism destinations, we can identify a lot of them on our fingertips, especially located in the northern part of the country. Every sustainable industry brings with itself a spurt in the GDP of a nation, but has its pitfalls that signal towards its impact on a nation, its resources, and stakeholders in the long run. Studies conducted on destination branding and destination brand development aimed at an aid to the tourism industry and have suggested a negative impact of a high influx of tourists that many destinations have not been able to manage with its available infrastructure and resources. We have identified our research as a contribution to the sustainable development goals that have been highlighted by the United Nations Development of Economic and Social Affairs. As you can see, there are 17 goals that have been identified, and our study aims to cater to the three goals, which are goal 11, 15, and 17, pertaining to sustainable cities and communities, conserving life on land, and partnerships for the goals. We aim to provide meaningful insight into conservation and sustainable tourism practices, as tourism is one of the largest service-based industry in India that has a number of people involved within itself. So we do have a fair idea of what's going on around across the world, and we are talking about India as a nascent, uh, growing, form of growing body where sustainable development of tourism is very nascent. So we are trying to capture what's happening in India with respect to what is happening around the world. So our study is mostly conceptual based, and we have tried to factor in a lot of researches that have been conducted in and around the world, and we have tried to see what are the inputs that these studies have had to give. So various ecotourism activities that are being offered to tourists have not been meeting the required standards of sustainability as prescribed by the authorities. A lack of management involvement in the development of sustenance of ecotourism in the Khorasan province has led to a vulnerable and fragile state of the environment. This was a major giveaway of a study conducted in 2015 in Iran. So we are trying to develop a framework of what's happening around the world before coming down to the trickle effect into India. So a need for a holistic development of tourism sector along with the medical fraternity to foster the growing demand of medical tourism in countries like India is much needed. India is one of the largest exporters of medical tourism, as we all know, followed after Singapore. So due to the cheap medical facilities available in India, right now we are witnessing a complete opposite of the same, but otherwise procedures like hip replacement, joint replacement, surgeries, all of these are costing a lot lesser in India as compared to Western countries. So the whole realm of medical tourism is sitting on the shoulders of the medical fraternity and the development of the tourism sector as well. And this has been highlighted as one of the key takeaways in a study that was proposed in 2014. Local authorities should actively and directly endeavor to improve the positive perceptions and respond to any negative perceptions held by the residents of a destination. Improving community members' gain, status consistency, and community involvement would significantly enhance their positive perceptions. It's imperative that local stakeholders like community members as well as residents of a particular destination know which are the touch points that their city or town or state have, which are the major highlights that are being offered, as for it to be a tourist destination. It's imperative for them to know these points so that they foster these points. Long-term sustainability can be reached if industry practitioners successfully address their societal and community deficits. Highlighted importance of participation in the tourism industry by local stakeholders, CSR, and tourism is highlighted in another study. So these are what we are trying to capture is the long-term sustainable development of the tourism sector. We are not looking at a myopic vision of achieving short-term goals, that is to get a higher influx of tourists via some campaign or something. What we are trying to elicit is that a long-term sustainability program is very beneficial for the development of local stakeholders, for the development of the whole tourism sector in a sense of a particular country. Lack of awareness regarding heritage, community infrastructure, administration, enterprises, and stakeholders greatly influence the sustainability of a tourism destination. So we have identified that lack of awareness regarding a few factors has been a problem point with a lot of stakeholders, as they do not know uh, what is the heritage that they're living in. They have a lack of sense of history, and they are not really aware of how to conserve the environment around them, especially when we talk about heritage sites, etc. Local communities enjoy being involved in the tourism sector because it improves their key income resources and quality of life. So, this has also been a major takeaway from one of the studies, that involvement of the local stakeholders has been highlighted as something that has greatly enhanced the tourism sector of a lot of destinations. The research gap that we identified from our study was that although a lot of studies had been conducted around the development of tourism sectors across the world, it has been a very nascent subject in India. And we have tried to identify researches that have been conducted in India and identify major key takeaways from these studies that can be incorporated and that have been incorporated in the tourism sector in and across the country. So these are a few of the major research papers that we had found that have augmented the body of literature that our paper is contributing to. I'll just quickly point out the key findings of these research papers. So the number of hotels and the number of tourists that are assessing a particular destination have a huge gap that has been identified as one of the problem areas, and that should be looked after by the government and the officials. Government policy makers, healthcare, public sector officials have a pivotal role in shaping and sustaining medical tourism in India. Again, when we talk about medical tourism, the medical fraternity as well as the key stakeholders in a particular country's tourism sector are both taking the huge burden of your medical tourism, and that should be properly calculated and exerted. Calculation of optimum level of ecotourism sustainability. Again, when we talk about tourism sustainable development, we talk about ecotourism, we talk about sustainability within practical constraints. Education tourism is another new concept that we had identified. Educating the local stakeholders about what are the various key points that are to be taken in mind when we talk about a particular destination, what is to be preserved, how it is to be preserved, etc. Looking at the fifth point, the extent to which cross-border supply, consumption, abroad commercial presence and personal mobility are likely to influence the conditions in which destinations could operate and also have a significance on ecotourism. This is the case of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which is a little far from the mainland and which is facing a lot of trouble in terms of developing its tourism in a sustainable manner. So, in order to encourage community support for conservation and consequent protection of natural resources, direct connection needs to be ascertained between conservation, ecotourism, and the benefits that accrue to the community from it. That was another key takeaway from the study. Moving forward, the role of customer engagement and in ensuring sustainable development in hospitality sector. Again, I'll just highlight the key findings. Strong influence of customer engagement. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to holistically develop the tourism sector with a good engagement of customers, engagement of other stakeholders that all contribute to the development of sustainability and ensure that the sustainability is taken care of. Absence of tourism policies, we understood a new term called tourism carrying capacity with the paper number, serial number 7. Uh, the destinations, a lot of destinations in India are facing more tourists than it can incorporate, and that has again to do with underreporting of data from local stakeholders or overestimation of data from higher authorities, which allow tourists to venture into these states for recreation. Local communities must look critically upon quality of natural environment, constructively combine the new with the old and not lose themselves. Tradition and culture should be kept in mind. Development or redevelopment in situ services to ensure tourists have a worthwhile stay. Maintenance of control of local tourism markets, because when locals see no material benefits of tourism, they may develop open hostility towards visitors. These were a few key takeaways from the study, from another study. We also assessed that responsible tourism and the whole concept of responsibility and who takes responsibility has been highlighted as one of the key factors here, which should be harbored. Most strongly perceived negative point is the pressure on civic amenities and deterioration of cultural resources as a passive tourism. Again, when we talk about a larger influx of tourists coming to a particular destination, what we are talking about is the stress that it creates on the local stakeholders, on the natural resources that are already present in the particular destination. Concluding notes of our research include that a strong governmental intervention to regulate tourism has been stressed upon by many authors. Terms like tourism carrying capacity were also coined that may give a new edge to the defining limit of tourist influx that should be permitted to a destination, keeping in mind the resources available. Collective participation of all stakeholders, local residents, governmental authorities, destination marketers, as well as tourists' participation in the conservation of destination heritage and resources help to grow in a sustainable manner. So, this has been highlighted as a major point in the sustainable growth of tourism in India. Some good governmental initiatives taken, like the development of tourism circuits in the 12th five-year plan to promote sustainable tourism, its development and growth have been appraised by a lot of studies, especially a few Indian authors. So these are the concluding notes to our study. These are a few of the references to our study. Please feel free to drop in an email if you have any queries regarding our paper. Thank you so much for your time, and sincerely apologizing for the hushed presentation, and hoping in for a good feedback. Thank you so much.